Motion by Councilmember Center. Do we have a second?
I need you to hit the button on the second, please.
Second. Button. There's a second. We're just trying to get it show up on screen.
There we go.
We have a second from Councilmember Brooks. Is there any discussion by council?
Yes, Mayor, I'd like to ask Ms. Pegler if she can show us where or tell us where those drives will be.
The driveway will be utilizing the existing driveway that's currently utilized by Lakemore Church. The church and Mr. Lovin entered into an agreement to share the existing driveway that's already there. He may need to do some improvements to that driveway in order to put the traffic on there. But at this time, that's the proposed entrance. It will stay the same. There will not be a new entrance on Davy Crockett. Now, Lakemore Church did retain a 50-foot strip onto Davy Crockett in order to maintain an address on Davy Crockett.
And so there is nothing out the back through the Lakemore residential area, except for maybe the church?
Yeah, I think the church may have an entrance on that side, but the furniture store is not proposed to use that entrance at this time. Their easement just goes along their property line, and actually the church is, it will be the church's easement across Mr. Levin's property.
Any other questions by council? All right, this time. 7 yeas, no nays. Our ordinance passes. Next item is new business, 9A, resolution. It's resolution number
13-12.
13-12. This is a resolution of the City Council of Morristown, Tennessee, respecting ratification of private chapter number 44, which is Senate Bill number 3788 of the 107th General Assembly. Would the City Administrator care to explain?
Just to reflect that the council asked the state legislature to consider an amendment to the charter. The House, Senate, and Governor have approved that amendment. This particular amendment has to do with the powers and the authorities of the utility board to operate the different utility systems. The one in question at this point in time would be the operation of sewer. This does not automatically mean that you would hand over operations, simply allow them the authority should you desire to do so.
Any questions of the City Administrator? Hearing none at this time, Chair will entertain a motion, all right, to pass resolution 13-12. We have a motion by Councilmember Jinks. Do we have a second? We have a second by Councilmember Bivens. Is there any discussion by council?
Mayor, I'd like to say, I don't think we need to give her sewer away. I think we need to. We got a lot of problems with sewer, and I just don't think we need to give it away, and I don't think the U.S. really wants it, to be honest with you. I haven't had anybody say they'd like to have it. So I just think we need to keep that.
Any other comments by council? I will say this, I don't think we should give it away in the condition it's in.
Really, you're supposed to do it, isn't it?
We do need to do I'm sorry.
I said, the way I heard that read, I don't think it said we was gonna give it away.
We're gonna vote it away.
No, it's not. Tony, is that what that said?
No, this,
You clarify that.
Let's do the discussions in order, please.
as the resolution before you gives the authority to the utility board to operate the sewer if you elect to give it to them. It does not give it to them at this point in time.
You can't give it to them because we already own it.
Yeah, it's a division of the city, therefore you're not giving anything away. That's not how it is. You're giving operation of the facility.
The resolution always states that, correct me if I'm wrong, Tony, that you turn it over to operation to the utility, but you can always bring it back to the operation of the city.
The city still owns the assets, that's correct.
And in the past, as you pointed out, Councilmember, there was a time when MUS did have it. And,
They had a plan.
yeah, and then they took it, and then the city took that operation over. So that can be done, you're absolutely right.
So Mayor, you're saying that we have the right to vote that too, then, right?
we do have
We're saying
right to vote
vote
operation.
within operation.
Right, but we're not voting from the operation today.
Right. So,
This is, what this resolution would be doing is if later it is decided that Morristown Utility Commission wishes to operate, and the city wishes for Morristown Utility Commission to operate it, that could be done. This is not a resolution turning over operation of the facility today. Does that make that clear?
That's right.
Absolutely.
Are there any other comments by council? Hearing none, we'll ask you to enter your vote. Five yeas, 2 nays. Resolution passes. Next resolution number.
14-12.
Next resolution is resolution number 14-12. It's a resolution of the City Council of Morristown, Tennessee, respecting ratification of private chapter number 52, which is Senate Bill number 3787 of the 107th General Assembly. With the city administrator hearing about.
Again, this is a request that came from council that went to the state legislature asking for a charter amendment. This charter amendment would change the appointment process for members of the MUS board. The bill has been approved by the House, Senate, and signed by the governor. It would require a supermajority of council to ratify. It is now prime for your consideration.
Any questions of city administrator on this resolution? Hearing none, chair will entertain a motion to pass resolution number 14-12.
I make that motion.
We have a motion by Councilmember LaBelle. Do we have a second?
I second that motion.
We have a second by Councilmember Garrett.
Actually, Mr.
Vivens,
Vivens.
sorry.
Click in first.
By Councilmember Vivens. Is there any discussion by council at this point?
Mayor, I'd like to say, I went to Nashville 3 times over this for the citizens of Morristown, and there's 17 people on that committee, and most of those people agree. Yes, Councilmember Brooks, it should be settled in Morristown, Tennessee. But it's kind of like the brotherhood system here, and we have to vote with Don Miller because we expect him to vote with us on something else. That was 99% of the answer. But most of them did look at me in the face and agree they should be handled on referendum. Matter of fact, one in the meeting said that we would like to make an amendment on this to do something to let Morristown, Tennessee handle it. But Don Miller, he objected to it and said we're going to have to treat this as a hostile situation in Morristown. So then there wasn't no amendment. So there was some action taken, and like I said, there's 17 members. I was there the day on the vote. 15 members showed up to vote. Who was absent. And the vote probably would have been about a 9-6 vote. So it's a lot better than what it looked in the paper. That's my comment. Anyway, I went to represent the people, Morristown, Tennessee. I've done my best.
Any other comments by council? I'll make a comment. I did too go down to Nashville also and talked with several of the representatives. And I heard the same feedback that Councilmember Brooks heard. I am disappointed it didn't come back as a resolution. But we will let this council decide which way they want to vote on this. Are there any other comments by council? Hearing none at this time, if you would please enter. 5 yeas, 2 nays, resolution passes. Next item to come before council will be resolution number
15-12.
15. Resolution 15-12, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Morristown affording council members certain privileges regarding access to public records. this time, would the city administrator like to expound on this?
Yes, this resolution is an outgrowth of discussion from the Finance Committee. It, in effect, limits an individual council member's ability to request documents without any restrictions, without pay. As the resolution states at this point, if a councilman wishes to request individual request for records, he can get up to 50 copies of or sheets of paper per month. Beyond that, he would have to pay per copy as any citizen would for records request.
Are there any questions of city administrator? Please, first question. Hearing none, at this time, Chair will entertain a motion on resolution 15-12. We have a motion by Councilmember Jenks. Do we have a second? We have a second by Councilmember Bell. Is there any discussion by council?
I guess I need to say something about that. On this resolution, I think it's very wrong. First of all, you need to change that 15-12 to Gene Brooks, because that's what it's all about. It's all about because I come up here and ask for some paperwork on the Millennium Square, and I got 3,000 copies, I believe it was. It was soon, it was right around 3,000 copies. I went through every one of those copies one night, picked out the trashy stuff. A lot of it was just garbage. Threw it away, but I took the other stuff and went through it and went to the state, talked to them, because I had got some calls from some of the contractors saying there was inside information, there was some problems with the Millennium Square building. So I took action, and this, I think, is what this is all about. They don't want me. I'll tell you what, the citizens elected me. I'm for the citizens. That's the way it is. I have no agenda. It doesn't matter if I get 50 copies or 10,000 copies, Tony. I am going to get them one way or the other. And when I can't get them, then I'm going to ask for a declaratory judgment on that, Mr. Jesse, what we talked about yesterday on some things, you know, and see, because I don't think, council member, we are elected by the people. You're denying the people access to this through a council member. This is all it's about. Y'all already have the guts enough to put over here Gene Brooks instead of this 15-12 or whatever. I think you're wrong on this, but I'm going to keep asking, and when I don't get them, then I'm going to take action myself. Okay?
I'll like to comment on this. I think this resolution is actually contrary to transparent city government. Any elected city official should have full access to documents that will allow that representative to work to provide an efficient and cost-effective city government. Copies of documents are oftentimes the only way information can be gathered. And to charge for copies for a city official is contrary to a free flow of information. This is not a resolution that is good for the citizens of Morristown. Any other comments by council members? Hearing none, would you please enter your vote? 5 yeas, 2 nays. Resolution. Next item will be item 9B. It's introduction and first reading of ordinances. These two ordinances that are coming up will be to set public hearing dates. The first ordinance is ordinance number
3441.
Ordinance number 3441, entitled an ordinance to amend ordinance number 2327 regarding city council pay. Is there expounding on this policy?
This ordinance is in response to discussions council has had over a number of meetings. As it currently stands, your pay is tied to be roughly equivalent to that of the county. There's been some questions about whether or not certain pay types are appropriate. And based on the discussion we've had with the city attorney and among council members, this ordinance has been prepared for your consideration to establish the pay rate as it currently is, but explicitly stating the types of pay and the dollar amount, rather than a reference to the county's pay. Hopefully this would clarify any dispute about what is appropriate and what is being provided for in pay, and that is the intent of the ordinance.
Are there any questions of the city administrator on this ordinance? If I hear none, then we will have entertain a motion for setting a public hearing on May the 15th, 2012 on ordinance number 3441, an ordinance to amend ordinance number 2327 regarding city council pay. Do I have a motion? We have a motion by Councilmember Bivens. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second by Councilmember Stecker. Is there any discussion by council?
Anybody want to say anything on that? I guess that's me again. Sorry to take up so much time, but this is all about me again. I've been turning in my bonuses in my longevity pay, I believe it's called. You get $25 and $5 a year. I got a check bonus $50 and $30. I always turn mine back in because the state law says I'm allowed to take $400, nothing less, nothing more. So this is going to be changed. It starts when? Is it 2015? Is that right? Was it 2015, Tony?
Yes, it goes into effect after everyone stood for election.
But see, this doesn't take care of the problem what's going on now. I feel like we council are taking illegal money. We're supposed to make $400, nothing more, nothing less. So that don't take care of the problem. So Dick, we discussed this, and so I'm gonna ask you for declaratory judgment on this.
If you would want a declaratory judgment testing the newly passed ordinance,
The past.
well, it would be moot if this passes. So you would like to seek a declaratory judgment, assuming this one passes on its validity?
On the, yes, on the one we're now, which we're gonna be under still no matter what till, this one don't take effect to 2015, right?
Okay. Yes,
So
that's
I'm
correct.
asking you, I want a declaratory judgment on, on this, because, I went to, MTS, and Mr. Hens had been there 60 years, told me this was not right.
I understand that.
I told y'all, but nobody wants to see, no one, so I want somebody to tell me, that I want a declaratory judgment on this.
That would be the one method I know to make a final determination of that. But you ought to know that it would cost more to have that proceeding than the additional money that you feel is inappropriately paid. But if the council authorizes it, of course, I would do it.
I think we need to know before we pass something that's not right.
Well, the effect is not until 2015, it's not going to be sometime.
Gene, I don't know what a declaratory judgment proceeding would count, but currently you're talking about $642.25 total. That's what you're talking about, $642.25. And our attorney can tell you how much a proceeding of the other nature. And he explained it in detail at the last meeting that ripped betwixt and between in this situation.
$600-some a year is that what you're saying?
Yes, sir.
But we're talking about quite a few years here, aren't we?
Multiply it by 3.
If it would help any, let me clarify for the people that are here.